First, we have to recite Ariyavasa Sutta Pali. Can you follow me? Tassa ime bhikkhave Ariyavasa. Yeriya Avasensuva Avasandiva Avasaisandiva Katame Tassa Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vebhino Hoti Chalinga Samanagato Ekareko Chatura Pasino Panona Vijega Sijo Samawaya Satisano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singaro Suimoda Jaito Suimoda Binyo. We recite together. Dasa ime bhikkhave Ariyavasa Yeriya Avasensuva Avasandiva Avasaisandiva Katame Dasa Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Pinjinga Vebhino Hoti Chalinga Samanagato Ekareko Chatura Pasino Panona Vijega Sijo Samawaya Satisano Anawila Singapore Pasada Gaya Singaro Suimoda Jaito Suimoda Binyo. Masisiyaro aphorism, can you follow me? To abandon the 5 factors, to be fulfilled with the 6 factors, and 1 protection, to depend on the 4 supports, and to dispel personal truths, to be free from searching, to have pure thoughts, to calm the in and out breath, to have a well-liberated mind, and well-liberated wisdom. The fully enlightened Buddha expounded the 10 features of Ariyavasa. So 10 Ariyavasa, we finished number 1, Ekareko. Now you understand why mindfulness is described as the single God, Ekareko. Because you are applying mindfulness the whole week, the whole day, the whole month. You know how mindfulness protect you always. So today we have to go to the 4th features of Ariyavasa. Chatura Pasino, 4 supports. We need to depend on the four supports to our development of mindfulness. To develop our mindfulness, what we need to depend on? We need to depend on the four supports. What are the four supports? Sinkayekam Padisewati. To use one thing by reflecting or to apply one thing by reflecting. Sinkayeka Diwaseti. To endure one thing by reflecting. Sinkayekam Pariwijeti. To avoid one thing by reflecting. Sinkayeka Vinodeti. To dispel one thing by reflecting. Number one, we have to use one thing. Number two, to endure one thing by reflecting. Number three, to avoid one thing by reflecting. Number four, to dispel one thing by reflecting. So need to remember four supports. Can you follow me? To use one thing by reflecting. To use one thing by reflecting. To endure one thing by reflecting. To endure one thing by reflecting. To avoid one thing by reflecting. To avoid one thing by reflecting. To dispel one thing by reflecting. To dispel one thing by reflecting. So you want to develop your mindfulness. So number one, you have to apply one thing. You have to use one thing. Number two, you need to be patient. You need to endure one thing by reflecting. Number three, you need to avoid one thing by reflecting. Number four, you need to dispel one thing by reflecting. Four supports Buddha mentioned. It is on the basic for these four supports that yogi has to cultivate the mindfulness, the single God. So Mahasi Zero have this aphorism: four supports to mindfulness are to use one thing, to endure another, to avoid stay another, and to dispel stay another. Four supports, Chatura Pasino. What is the number one support? Sinkayekam Patisewati. A bhikkhu practitioner use one thing by reflecting. It refers basic necessity of our life. In our life, what are the four basic necessities? Clothes, food, medicine, and dwelling. These are the four basic necessities which we should use, which we should apply. When we apply, when we use, we need to reflect their correct purposes. Clothing for the monks' robes. If we do not wear any clothes, we will be afflicted with cold, heat, and so on. Weather changing very fast, sometimes temperature high, sometimes temperature very low, sometimes windy, sometimes no wind. So if we do not wear any clothes, we will be afflicted. And also it is definitely disgraceful, to be shameful, to be naked. That is why clothes are necessary for our life. And we are advised to wear clothes by reflecting their use. Yogi reflect in correct way, and for the monks and nuns, they have to reflect. Pati Singha Yoniso Jivaram Pati Sewami Yawa Deva Sitasa Pati Gadaya, etc. I put on the robe. By reflecting, I wear the robe. I use the robe for keeping out cold, heat, bites and insects. I wear the robe. I wear this clothing just to cover myself up. I wear this clothing not for any other purpose. I wear this robe, I wear this clothing not to beautify myself. Some people want to show their clothes. For the monks and yogis have right reflection. I wear this clothing not to take pride in clothing. I wear this clothing, I wear this robe just to ward off cold, heat, insect bites, and to cover myself. So these are the correct purpose to wear clothing, to wear the robes. By wearing this robe, by wearing this clothing, you can practice. You can practice, you can develop your mindfulness. And number two necessity is the food. Food is necessary for our survival. We have to eat the food regularly by reflecting its purpose. For the monks and yogis, they have to take the food by reflecting their correct purposes. I take this food, I take these nutrients, not for merrymaking, not for beautifying the appearance, not for building up physique. Eating food is just for keeping alive and well. I understand there's no man, no woman, no person, no living entity. I'm living because of that food. If there's no food, I will die. So I eat this food just for keeping alive and well. I take this food in order to practice the teaching of the Buddha. I take this food, I take these nutrients not for pleasure, not to become strong and beautiful, not in order to show off. So that is the correct purposes when we take the food. In the same way, we live in open space without proper lodging, we will suffer a lot from sun, rain, and so on. So we have to live in the lodging by reflecting its use. Now you take the lodging, very simple lodging. Your room is not decorated, totally very simple, just for taking rest, only just few hours, and the whole day you practice. Your lodging is very, very simple. And medicine is necessary for our health, so we have to depend on it as required by reflecting its purpose. So for necessary, basic necessity of our life, clothes, food, medicine, and dwelling, we have to depend on these is support to develop our mindfulness. For further elaboration, to deny ourselves such necessity means self-denial or austerity called Atta Kilamata Nu Yoga practice. During the time of the Buddha, there were ascetics called Niganda Ajivaka. They practiced the self-denial that required themselves to live a life without wearing clothes, eating proper food, and using any lodging. Even our Bodhisattva himself practiced some kinds of self-denial in the earlier years of his practice. Having not yet discovered the correct method, known as middle way or middle path, our Bodhisattva practice austerity, like suppressing his in and out breath, reducing his food intake to the extreme, and so on. Later, our Bodhisattva realized the futility of this austerity practice and gave it up and follow the middle way or Eightfold Path until he attained Buddhahood. So in modern India, there are Jain monks who are still committed to some kinds of self-denial. In the Buddha's holy order, such self-denial practice are not allowed, nor is self-indulgence either, which includes enjoying luxurious things like lavish clothes, expensive food, luxurious lodging, etc. So instead, the only practice encouraged is middle way. Now you are practicing, you choosing the right path. What you are practicing is right path. For necessary things, you use it. And then you practice Eightfold Path, right understanding, right thinking, right speech, right action, right livelihood, etc. For Eightfold Path or Satipatthana practice or Vipassana meditation that allows you to use what you should use by reflecting their correct purposes. So to use for necessity for correct purposes means to have the first support to the development of our mindfulness. And the second support, Sinkayeka Adiwasiti. A bhikkhu practitioner endures one thing by reflecting. So the second support to the development of our mindfulness is to endure one thing. There are things for us to endure during our intensive meditation retreat. Practitioner should be capable of enduring heat. Sometime last week, temperature very high, no problem, you endure. Sometimes temperature cold, early morning cold, and you need to endure. Undesirable noise, you endure. But meditation hall is very quiet, but sometimes you hear the noise you don't like, you need to endure, need to be patient, unpleasant sensation, especially, and many other things disagreeable to practitioner. Yogi need to endure. Some practitioners cannot bear pain. As soon as they feel painful, they give up mindfulness and seek to ease their pain, thereby delaying progress in meditation. So the teaching we need to understand, as soon as the sensation clear, pain arise, mindfulness go there. Mindfulness have to capture the pain. You need to understand the simple instruction. When there is pain, note quickly, pain, pain, pain. So that is why it is quite important to endure such disagreeable things during our meditation retreat. And the encouragement is kayeja jiviteja anabhigata upathabeti. Cultivate the spirit of not caring about your life and limbs. So yogi should seek spiritual accomplishment at all costs, even at the risk of your lives and limbs. So some people may think that Buddha teaching makes unreasonable demands on them, so demanding. But this encouragement, this statement is aimed at encouraging yogi to do their utmost for the spiritual accomplishment. As a matter of fact, there is no case of illness, not to mention death, due to strenuous practice of meditation. On the contrary, there are many cases. So I have been encountering many yogis. Some are very sick. They recover through their meditation. So many cases in which people even recover from their illness through their strenuous practice of meditation. Their numbers are quite considerable. So if yogi followed the guidance of the teacher, yogi made just enough effort to be mindful at all times. Before long, therefore, their Bhujanga Dhamma developed. They could develop concentration and insight knowledge to a remarkable extent. And as a result, they became endurable and pain and sickness decreased in degree because their mind very healthy. So that support their physical health. So meditators should exercise endurance as far as possible in the face of pain, unpleasant sensation. So of course, yogi must do the needful changes when the pain is unbearable, but you need to encourage yourself. Patience leads to nirvana. That saying is very relevant to the practice of meditation than to any other events. If we do not endure discomfort and disagreeable object and changes our postures frequently and mindlessly, then we would become too agitated to concentrate. Without concentration, we can never attain insight knowledge. So that is why if we encounter unpleasant sensation, we have to note them all with our patience and persistence. Of course, the pain becomes really unbearable. We can change our physical position without dropping our continuous mindfulness. So in this way, the endurance serves as a support to our development of mindfulness. So two kinds of sensation, agreeable and disagreeable. Agreeable sensation need to be patient, disagreeable sensation also be patient. And patiently observe, and you can overcome abhijja and domanassa, desire and discontent. Previous day, the story of Buddha, when he asked Buddha to deliver a sermon to him in a concise way, and Buddha preached to Venerable Buddha in a concise way. So pleasurable and agreeable sights, when you encounter, you need to be patient, patiently observe, and then you see the true nature, and then you can overcome nandiraga, that means abhijja, desire. So that is for agreeable sensation, agreeable sights, agreeable sight. If you patiently note, you can overcome by understanding the true nature of the phenomena. And then Buddha asks Venerable Pona, after receiving Buddha admonition, Pona, where you are going to reside? And Venerable Pona replied, I am residing in Sunapranda state in the westernmost parts of the continent of India. And Buddha reminded the citizens of Sunapranda are rude, rough, and easily get angry. If they scold you and utter abuses words at you, how do you reflect? So here, disagreeable sounds. Disagreeable sounds. How do you reflect? How do you behave? How do you contemplate? You need to be patient, patiently observe, maybe hearing, etc. If you patiently observe, you can overcome. And then Venerable Pona have the kinds of right reflection. One day, if they abuse and shout at me, I would bear in mind in this way, these people are not at all bad. They only utter abuses words and rebuke me, but they have not yet made any physical assault on me. So that is wise reflection. Having this right wise reflection and patiently observe the phenomena, and he will overcome. Then Buddha asks, if these rude people give you a beating and attack you physically, how do you reflect? Also again, patient, reflect in the wise manner. And then Buddha asks again, if they harm to you with their hands, how do you reflect? Be patient and patiently mindful of the phenomena. And if they throw stone at you, how do you reflect? Patient and patiently mindful of the phenomena. So if they assaulted physically with stones, sticks, and thoughts, how do you reflect? Tolerance and patiently observe the phenomena. Finally, if they kill you, how do you reflect? These people are not bad at all. They are good. I have to accept. It is not necessary to find a weapon to be killed. So that kind of reflection is very great. By endurance, by patience, Venerable Pona practice. Patiently note to get the strong concentration. Patience is really needed. If you really patient, if you really tolerate, mindfulness is produced. Then concentration gets stronger, and you can overcome Beja and Domanasa, Lobha and Dosa, desire and discontent. So Venerable Pona practiced in this way, and later he made his way to Sunapranta country and carry on practicing meditation. And finally he became an Arahant. So during the practice of meditation, we need to understand, we need to accept all intruder, all troublesome problem, reflect that everything can be considered as a friends, regard them as friends, not intruder, just accept them, be patiently mindful of them, and let them go by themselves. Patiently observe and pay attention to the object as it is. Don't add anything of person, permanent, ugly, or beautiful. Just patiently note continuously, and you can capture the true phenomena. And that support Sinkayekam Parivijjeti. A Bhikkhu practitioner avoids one thing by reflecting. So yogi need to avoid one thing. What we have to avoid, it is quite simple. As a meditator, yogi should avoid all potential dangers such as vicious animals, like aggressive people, aggressive dogs, aggressive horses, aggressive elephants, aggressive cow, and so on. And aggressive vehicle driven by reckless drivers. But in the meditation hall, no aggressive, or are very gentle. Here Buddha mentioned that vicious animals, vicious people need to be avoided. In the daily life also we need to avoid these people and these animals. A crowded area, a big festival. There are many cases of shooting in this aggressive area. So Buddha reminded, don't go there. These aggressive areas are to be avoided. So nowadays there are too many motor vehicles, especially in the big city, where there are accidents almost every day in the news. So we have to be careful about them. Otherwise, we may encounter an accident. So moreover, practitioners are also advised not to go near to dangerous places like pits, ditches, ravines, and so on. It is not to fall down into them accidentally. In the newspapers, sometimes the kinds of incident, people take a photo and then they fell down into ravines. So this is not exaggerating. Fully enlightened Buddha himself cautioned his disciple against visiting dangerous places thoughtlessly. Even a trivial inflict like being pierced by a thorn may mean a serious disturbance in the practice of meditation. So practitioners are advised not to go to dangerous places, being foolishly overconfident that, oh, I would be saved by the power of my diligent meditation. I practice long and my practice is good. And the yogi is overconfident in the practice. But should not go to the dangerous place, being foolishly overconfident his practice. So fully enlightened Buddha give practitioner these protective instruction out of great compassion, like a parents to a child. Don't go to the dangerous places, don't go to these aggressive area. Buddha gives us these protective instruction out of Mahakaruna, great compassion, like very careful parents to a child. An intensive retreat, yogi should be on his or her guard against close relationship with opposite sex. So this precaution directly concern monastics that would otherwise be exposed to the false allegation. Anyhow, this is not something hard to practice. All practitioner need to do is just not to go where yogi should not go. So avoiding potential dangers is a support to the development of mindfulness. And number 4, support. Sinkayeka Vinodeti. A Bhikkhu practitioner dispel one things by reflecting. The fourth support is to dispel one things, which refers to removal of unwholesome thoughts. What are the unwholesome thoughts? Kama vitaka, thoughts of sensual desire, thoughts of sensual pleasures. Pyabara vitaka, thoughts of killing other people. Vihisa vitaka, thoughts of hurting other people. So unwholesome thoughts need to remove. So 3 thoughts yogi should dispel. So can you follow me? 3 thoughts. Kama vitaka, thoughts of sensual pleasures. Kama vitaka, thoughts of sensual pleasures. Pyabada vitaka, thoughts of killing other people. Pyabada vitaka, thoughts of killing other people, killing other beings. Vihinsa vitaka, thoughts of hurting beings. Vihinsa vitaka, thoughts of hurting other beings. So three vitaka. The first one is kama vitaka, thoughts of sensual pleasures. Number two, vyavara vitaka, thoughts of killing other beings. And vihinsa vitaka, thoughts of hurting other beings. So it is very important to dispel such unwholesome thoughts. Some people may think it easy, but actually it is very difficult to resist the temptation of these thoughts because people enjoy thinking. Suppose, for example, the person think about sensual pleasures, like thinking about seeking something desirable, meeting someone he loves, or making something happen the way he wants. So he would elusively identify such thoughts as himself or his own and take pride and delight in them. I am very wise. I have that kind of idea. So he elusively identifies such thought as himself. I have such kinds of idea. I'm thinking in this way. So he take pride and delight in these thoughts. So that is why practitioners are encouraged to note such thoughts so that they can overcome illusion and subsequent evil thoughts. In this case, some people may complain that meditation imposes restriction on their freedom and does not even allow them to think of what they want. It is not surprising because people inherently feel free to think of anything they want when they are not in the retreat. Of course, in the beginning of the intensive retreat, it would be a very difficult task for them to be mindful of each and every thoughts they have. Instruction is very tough. Yogi need to be mindful of each and every thoughts. However, after a few days, yogis will become accustomed to be mindful of thoughts. Moment by moment they practice, and day by day, week by week, yogi will even become happy to be mindful of their thoughts. So yogi should practice more diligently to your mindfulness, to have mindfulness of each and every thought. Later, yogi really appreciates to be mindful of every thought in due course, because yogi can enjoy Dhamma pleasure by noting each and every state of mind. Some people, they very eager to study Buddha teaching. And they do not know much about the method, but they have faith that arouses their interest in it. And the problem is that they are fond of reading and writing, studying and the teaching. So they spend any of their spare time reading and writing, they studying Buddha teaching, they hardly stop it. That is why they are not very happy when they are advised to give up this habit of reading during their intensive retreat. Reading and writing is considered Kantaplivora, academic impediment during the retreat. Kantaplivora, an obstacle to the practice. So if yogi read and write long during the intensive retreat, you would spend most of your time thinking of what you read and write, weakening your development of mindfulness and concentration. Without concentration, you can not develop vipassana insight knowledge. So that is why meditation center requests, meditation center have to advise yogis, especially yogis who eagerly want to study much Buddha teaching, not to read, not to write during their intensive retreat. So at first, yogis are quite reluctant to accept restriction on reading and writing during the retreat. But later they understand, they appreciate, they appreciate it. Then they said that mindfulness meditation, continuous and meticulous practice of meditation was amazing. It helped them to be aware of every thought they have. And there's no reliable system of mental cultivation in people. So most of the people could not find inner peace despite of their material prosperity. So yogi will surely find the mindfulness meditation to be greatly conducive to your true happiness if you practice meditation, simple meditation effectively. It is really a wonderful method that helps you to be aware and get rid of negative, unwholesome mental states. So dispelling the negative, unwholesome mental states is the fourth support to your development of mindfulness. So there are 4 kinds of support, you remember, that constitute one of the features of Ariyavasa. So remember, for support are to apply, for supports are to use one things to endure another, to avoid stay another, and to dispel stay another. Chaturapasino, and then tomorrow we will continue pinching Gawepino. Five factors have to be abandoned. So we have to stop our discourse for today by practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, seeing, hearing, smelling continuously and meticulously. May all yogis build up the Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. May all yogis have Om Ariyavasa, the abode of noble ones. May all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future. Satipatthana Odesa Pali. Ekayano Iyam Bhikkhave Bhaggo Sadanam Visodhiyam Sogabari Devanam Samadegamaya Doga Domanasanam Atingamaya Nyayasa Adigamaya Nivanasa Sachigiriyaya Yadidam Chadara Satipatthana Kadame Chadara Ida Bhikkhave Bhikkhu Kaye Kayanubasi Viharati Tabi Sambhajana Satima Vineya Lage Aveja Domanasam Vedanasu Vedananubasi Viharati Ratabi Sambhajana Satima Vineya Loge Aveja Domanasam Jeta Jetanubasi Viharati Adabi Sambhajana Satima Vineya Ge Aveja Domanasam Dhamesu Dhammanubasi Viharati Adabi Sambhajana Satima Vineya Loke Abhija Domanasam. English translation. This is the only way, bhikkhus, of beings, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, for the disappearance of pain and grief, for reaching the noble path, for the realizations of nirvana, namely, what are the four? Here in this teaching, bhikkhus, a bhikkhu does contemplating the body in the body, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Bhikkhu does contemplating the feeling, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Contemplating the consciousness, ardent, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Bhikkhu does contemplating the Dhamma in the Dhammas, clearly comprehending and mindful, removing desire and discontent in the world. Honoring and sharing merits. Imayam Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiyam Bodham Bujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiyam Dhammam Bujemi Imaya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiyam Sangham Bujemi Maya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiyam Madhavidara Ujemi Maya Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatiyam Acariya Ujemi Adaimaya Patipataya Yaramaranama Parimojayasami Dhamme Bonyam Asavakayavaham Adu Idame Silam Megavalanya Pacayadu Imano Punya Bhagam Savasadana Dema Desada Sugita Ondu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu